everyone, and welcome to another episode of Radiant Central, and I'm your host, Natasha St. Michael, and thank you so much for joining me. So today I want to address a question that I received via email asking me how to get healthy after quitting smoking. And it's a fantastic question, and congratulations to the person that has quit smoking, and also to anyone else out there that's quit smoking. This is huge. I was once a smoker, so I know what it's like. I smoked for almost 20 years. I was a chain smoker, 2 packs a day, and I struggled for many years trying to quit, and when I finally did, it was probably one of my biggest victories. So I do want to say, though, to that person that wrote me asking me how to get healthy now that they quit smoking, is that the great thing is that they're finally over the actual addiction, because when someone first quit smoking, that's all they think about is how to get through the cravings, how to get through the day, how to get through work, how to get through social situations. And they don't think beyond that. But once you're at a point where you're kind of like, okay, how do I get healthy now? It means you're over the addiction part. You're over the withdrawal phase. You're over the first phase of letting go of an addiction. So congratulations. Now, how to get healthy? Well, I have to first say that being healthy, at least to me, is not only about the body. It's not only about diet or exercise, but it also includes mental health and emotional health and spiritual health, all of that. And especially when it comes down to addictions, is that it's not only a physical addiction. There's a lot more going on. There's a psychological element that's going on. There's just it's about getting back to yourself, pretty much, because for most addictions it's a distraction from yourself. It's a distraction away from reality. It's something that's kind of taken over your life and dictated your actions and your thoughts and everything. So this is the time now to be taking back your life, and also in some ways even getting to know yourself again. So starting with getting healthy, we can talk about first the physical part. And what I do suggest is to detoxify from cigarettes, is to eat healthy. Okay, most important is you want to be feeding yourself nutritious, healthy food and staying away from sugar and stimulants and artificial flavors and chemicals and processed food and all of that. Just move on to eating a clean, healthy, whole food diet. Eat as much healthy foods as possible, and that can start getting the ball rolling. I also suggest eating a lot of water-rich foods, which includes eating like a lot of fruits and vegetables and drinking a lot of water, things like that, to flush your system out, because that will help too to release the nicotine and the chemicals and everything that's been laced into those cigarettes. And also, toxins and chemicals that are found in cigarettes are not only water soluble and flushed out or sweated out or peed out, but they're also, a lot of them are actually fat soluble. So it's important to be eating healthy fats as well, and that includes eating nuts and seeds and avocado, coconut meat, eating meat or eggs, fatty fish, things like that. This will also help to eliminate some of the toxins that might be stored in your body. And at the same time, I have to say, you have to trust your body too. Our body is made to detoxify itself. It doesn't want to hold on to these bad chemicals and stuff. And so our liver is there to detoxify us at every moment of the day. So is our kidneys, so is our pancreas, so is our digestive system, our lungs. All of that is there to clean us out constantly and to keep us at a good equilibrium. So it's important to have a lifestyle to support your organs so that they can function at their most optimal level. Okay, so that includes not only eating well, but it also includes good sleep and getting fresh air and exercise and just taking care of your body, creating a balance and looking out for yourself. So the next thing too that I suggest with the food is also to be mindful of some of the foods that you can incorporate into your diet or add more of, and that would include, I would say, foods that have B vitamins, because for most smokers, this is one vitamin that kind of gets knocked out when they're smoking, is B vitamins. And this can be found in whole grains, it can be found in meat and in poultry and in some dairy products. So that's something to think about, as well as including foods that are rich in antioxidants. And this will help to neutralize some of the free radicals that come into your system every day. And that includes having pretty much fruits that are very rich in pigment, in color. Okay, so blueberries are very rich in antioxidants, so is pomegranates, so is blackberries, prunes, raspberries, red dragon fruit, things like that. Things that have a real deep color to them have a lot of antioxidants, and that too can really help. I also suggest too is to make sure to have a diet that's rich in omega-3s, in DHA and essential fatty acids, and this includes having fish, like fatty fish like salmon or sardines, or having eggs that are free-range eggs that do have DHA in them, and other foods that have omega-3s, and that could be chia seeds as well, or walnuts. And omega-3s are just good for overall brain health, and that can even help. There's been studies to show that it boosts the mood a little bit, and that can help with letting go of an addiction. The next thing that I suggest too is getting into doing exercise and getting active, okay? And that includes doing both cardiovascular exercise and doing strength training. The one great thing about quitting smoking is that once you get over the initial withdrawal, after a few weeks, is you start getting your energy back. And for a lot of people, they start feeling great. They start feeling better than they've felt in like years and decades, because they're like, wow, I have energy. I can finally breathe. I can finally take in the oxygen, and my body can start working like it should. And for a lot of people, they start getting motivated and inspired to get onto an exercise routine, which is fantastic. And I say seize that inspiration and the motivation and just do it. But do make sure to get variety in, and make sure to be getting in some exercise that you're sweating things out, because that also can help to detoxify you. So I would suggest trying to do some sort of exercise 5 times a week and alternating between strength training and cardiovascular exercise. The next thing that I suggest is also to start thinking about stress reduction, because for a lot of people that have found themselves getting into some sort of addiction, like being addicted to tobacco and nicotine, is that people reach for cigarettes to relax, right? They think they relate smoking a cigarette to calming themselves down. And it's important to find other things, healthier things, more natural things, to calm yourself down and to learn how to deal with stress, so that when something does happen or something comes up or something that's triggering a craving, that you have another tool. You have something else to go to deal with that stress, as opposed to reaching for a cigarette or craving one. So what I suggest is kind of brainstorming, like what would work for you, and what has worked for you, and what can you try. And for some people, it means getting into spending time outdoors. They might go walking every day. Some people, it's spending time with animals, with pets, or other people it might be doing art, or listening to music, or playing music, or writing, or taking a hot bath, going to the spa, getting a massage, or just spending the day with friends, or going shopping. Or there's so many things you can do to bring down the stress and to release the day-to-day pressure that you might be kind of holding on to. And it's important. It's important for your overall well-being is to always keep down the stress levels. And also too, I suggest looking into things like meditation or deep breathing or yoga. These things can really help to just release some of that pressure and just some of the thoughts too, and some of the buildup and all of that, and the extra energy. So definitely start brainstorming ways of taking care of your emotional health pretty much. And another suggestion I have too is to start thinking about what are your passions and what are your interests. I think that a lot of times when people are dealing with addiction and in the midst of addiction and getting out of addiction is that suddenly they're kind of faced with the reality of their own life. Cigarettes and other drugs are a distraction from yourself. And for a lot of people, once they let go of these addictive substances, suddenly they're faced with themselves. And I know for myself, I went through this where when I quit smoking, it was like suddenly I'm with me. I'm not with the cigarettes and me. I'm not distracting myself from myself. I'm stuck with myself. And that was a little bit uncomfortable at first, because there was part of me that wasn't comfortable being with myself and with my thoughts and dealing with my reality. And I had to face that, and I found by pursuing things that I was really interested in and also experimenting with trying new things and exploring other types of hobbies or interests, that also brought me to a point too where I didn't have to find things outside of myself. I can go within myself and find those things that lift me up, make me feel like I'm alive again, and also make me feel that my life has a purpose and I have things that are great to look forward to, as opposed to fighting that smaller side of myself that wants to smoke, that wants a break, that wants just to kind of put my head in the sand. So I do suggest to think about, what are the things that you've always wanted to do that you haven't gone around to doing? What are some of the things that you'd like to read about or take a class or learn how to do, and to pursue that, because you're free. You're no longer controlled by an addiction 24 hours a day. You have extra time. A lot of smokers, ex-smokers, realize once they quit smoking, they've got so much time because they're not smoking all the time, right? They're not taking their smoking breaks, and they can do more things. So this is also a good time to be exploring your interests and pursuing it, doing something, taking action, and filling your days doing things, because the more that you're doing things and you're living and feeling alive, the more connected you feel. The more you feel that your life has purpose, the more that it brings out also a spiritual side of your life as well. So these are things to think about and pursue. One thing that I want to end by saying and just sharing a little bit of my experience of looking back to when I quit smoking and how I went about it, and if there was something I would have changed. One thing that I realized that I had done at the time that I had quit smoking was that I replaced one bad habit, one addiction, with another. And for me, that was, I started eating a lot of food when I quit smoking. And I consciously knew I was doing this. I consciously knew that I was replacing sort of one substance with another one. And even though the substance A, the cigarettes, are terrible for you, and the food that I was replacing it with was healthy food, I was eating too much healthy food. And I was replacing an addiction. I was replacing an action. I wasn't dealing with sort of the root cause of my addiction. I was dealing with the effects. And looking back now, that's something that I would have changed, because I ended up gaining a lot of weight. I gained, I think within a year, maybe like 25 pounds. And it took me quite a few years to lose that weight and to keep it off. And if I look back now, I know why I did it. And I know why I told myself that, no matter what, if I want a cigarette, I cannot have it. And if I have to eat and eat a lot, I will do it in order not to have a cigarette. And that was my mentality. And I would say to myself now, no. I would kind of put my foot down. Maybe I'd say, okay, maybe for the first month you can do that, but then it's got to stop. Or I wouldn't even let myself indulge in that, because it only created more problems for me down the line. Down the line, I had to deal with eating too much food and losing weight and the repercussions from that. So what I suggest for anyone that has quit smoking or is planning to is don't replace the smoking habit with another habit. Even if it's a healthy one, just let go of it. It just drop it. Drop it and walk away from it, and don't look back. Don't pick up something else to replace it with, because in the end, is it worth it? I don't know. You can do so much better just without it, and without having to deal with extra stress and something else to be worrying about and trying to figure out and trying to fix. Okay, so I wish you guys a super fabulous day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.